Hey everybody, what you are about to hear is a Patreon exclusive episode. It is one of our call-in shows or possibly one of our custom episodes. Yeah, I pre-record these things, deal with it. It's one or the other, and these will be heard a week earlier if you sign up to our Patreon at patreon.com/theb+. There's all sorts of rewards. You get to tell us what to talk about in these custom episodes, for example, or if this is a call-in show, you could be on it just by going to our Patreon, patreon.com/theb+, supporting us for as low as $1. Every dollar helps. It's going to help us build the site, grow the site, get more content creators, get more people exposing Aussie wrestling to the rest of the world. It's the best place to get in on our mission of watch global, support local. We thank everyone, of course, who listens, shares, likes, subscribes, all of that good stuff for their support. An extra special thanks to our Patreon backers. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Hold one, Andre.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Oh my God!
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two, arm bar.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Dummy.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Hold three, Lamas covered, three-handle family Gradunzel.
Mamma mia!
And now,
Unchained.media presents the B Plus Podcast with your host, Greg Unchained.
It's me, Austin! It was me all along, Austin!
number four, armbar.
I will never retire!
I still got 200 more. I got 200 more holes to list.
Alright, ladies, gents, and non-binary friends, welcome to the B Plus Podcast. I'm your host, Greg Unchained. Today, as we record this, it is Monday, which is unusual. Normally we do our call-in shows on a Tuesday, and they end up being very WWE heavy. And so I wanted to kind of avoid that, or at least try to avoid that. You know, just wrestling itself is WWE heavy, so we probably won't be able to avoid it. But we're doing it on a Monday just to see how it changes things. Joining me, of course, as she does for these wonderful, wonderful call-in shows where we talk to our Patreon backers, Danders the Manders. How are you?
Living large, as always. Not in charge. I'm second in command in my household at the moment, but still living large.
Still living large. Well, that's what we want to hear. I mean, that's
And
kind of the
second
gimmick.
in charge. Yeah.
You're the 2IC of your own life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I'm assistant to the regional manager.
good reference. I appreciate that reference. Beats. I can't remember the rest of it. Something Battlestar
Bears-
Galactica. Bears. That's the middle one. Yeah.
No, Bears is the first one.
He says
Bears
Beats first.
Battlestar. No, he says Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
All right, I'm going to trust you on this one. I feel like you're a bigger Office nerd than me, but I really liked that show. It was very funny. It was a long time ago, though. We are old, Danders.
Who's dropping shit? Stop dropping shit in the background.
That would be my child who refused to sleep, and I have I have decided to do the podcast anyway. So he just walked into the room, and I was like, "Take the iPad. That'll keep you quiet." And you heard it, and I didn't want you to, but there we go. It's out in the open. So you went to the MCW Evie's Disco Diner Girl show yesterday, yeah?
I did.
I want to hear all about it. Maybe not all about it because we have callers to get to, but
It was warm. I'm not going to go too much into it in case our listeners want to ask me questions about it, because I don't know anything outside of WWE except for Australian wrestling. So I don't know anything about New Japan, NXT.
NXT UK either, as demonstrated on your guest spot on the podcast.
Oh, fuck yourself. So yeah, it was very warm. Feel free to ask me questions about Girl. The aircon was not working, but the ladies persevered. There were some amazing spots. some building for the next MCW show, which was cool, and a very big name announced for the next show, which I'm sure
Yes.
everyone heard.
Yes, Millie.
I don't know who she is because I don't know anyone, but apparently she's a big deal.
She is. Millie McKenzie is coming down under, coming to Melbourne for a girl show. And I actually have someone on the line who can probably fill you in on Millie McKenzie. So that was a really, really good unintentional segue that you did there. Bringing him in now. Akil, how are you, my man?
I'm incredible. How are you?
Yeah, I am well, considering the kid won't sleep. But, you know, it is what it is. I feel like the
think it
iPad
is.
noise is going to come through on the recording.
I hope you can't hear my fire alarm in the background.
I can always hear your fire alarm in the background, man.
Just deal with it at this point, Greg.
Akil, where are you calling us from? Or where are you speaking to us from?
London. London.
I was going to say
England.
you sound like you're from London, but then I didn't want to be a
London,
wanker, but I did it anyway. That's how I roll.
I mean,
Paul Rudd is underrated.
good for you. I don't even know what that's a reference to.
So,
I don't even know what it's from, but it's like seems to be the thing that you say when you meet someone. It's
You
like
sound
the
like you're from
mother shrimp
London.
on a Barbie.
yeah, no, it's Paul Rudd says it to Russell Brand in Get Him to the Greek, maybe, or the one before, Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That's it, where he's like the
I was
hippie
gonna
dude
say, I
on the
don't think
beach.
Paul Rudd is in. I was going to say I don't think Paul Rudd is in. Get him to the Greek, but yeah, cool
Yeah.
beans. You're the boss here. Okay, but what do you want to chat about?
Can't I just call to have a nice chat with my friend Greg? Is that not allowed?
Yeah, no,
Do I
that's
have to have
absolutely
a
allowed.
topic?
That's absolutely allowed.
Well,
We haven't talked in
I'm
a while.
saying you get to pick what we talk about.
Yeah,
Right.
Akil and
No,
I
that's
haven't
fine.
talked in a
It's
while,
fine.
so he's probably just calling to say hi.
No, let's talk about Millie McKenzie going to Australia.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah, hit it.
So,
Why should Danders care about Millie McKenzie?
Millie McKenzie is about 19 or 20 years old and has only been wrestling for about 2 or 3 years and is already one of the top women's wrestlers in this country.
Yeah.
She may be signed to NXT UK. I'm not entirely sure of that
Well,
because
those
NXT UK is weird.
contract
and who knows?
situations are fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like she's not, but she worked a couple tapings and was part of that first women's championship tournament, my Bob.
Yeah. Am I correct in thinking she's quite tight with one Peter Dunn?
I was going to say I've just googled her, and there's a picture of her giving like a bear hug to Pete Dunne, and he's looks like he's not having it, but he's also in character. So, and she's like, she looks like a smiley cheerleader. There's shades of Shazza McKenzie aesthetically, and he's not having it.
Yeah, so they used to be a tag team, maybe still are, called the Bruiser Mates,
Such a good team,
Aw,
man. Such a
that's
good
so
team.
cute.
Man.
with the idea being that Millie McKenzie really wants to be friends with her and Trent and Tyler, and they're all just like, "You're 12, go away."
There's some just from a Google image search, there's also a picture of both of them doing the belt in the mouth.
Yeah,
And she's looking psyched and he's looking like, fuck off, mate.
yeah, it's a really fun team. They don't really do anything anymore now because Pete's left the Indies, sadly.
Yeah. But so it was kind of like a British strong style fangirl gimmick for a bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. She was the Mickey James of British Strong Style.
It's amazing. I love that gimmick. I think that gimmick works so well and should be done not all the time, but it should be done more often. I'm a fan of that gimmick. Adam Brooks, his first gimmick, he was a fanboy of Buddy Murphy. That was how he debuted.
I don't think I'm allowed to talk about Adam Brooks anymore.
Right? No,
Greg.
you're not. You are cancelled from talking about Adam Brooks.
I'm raising the band. Tell me why you're banned about talking about Adam Brooks.
Here we go.
Okay, so basically, right, he came over to the UK for a bit, for like 6 months, and was shit.
All right, well, you can just shut the fuck up. I've reinstated the ban.
Cancelled. This
So
is-
what? Let's use constructive language. You were
Okay.
you were underwhelmed by his performance.
No, so what it is it seemed like he only seemed to have chemistry with Will Ospreay. And he came over here really trying to push this sort of heel character, and it didn't really work. He worked these really sort of slow-paced, methodical matches. Again, it just didn't really get over. He only got bookings in like 1 or 2 companies, and he was here for like 6 months.
He did Progress World Cup, and he did Rev Pro. I mean, those are the big 2.
He did PCW.
He did PCW, but PCW isn't on anyone's radar.
Well, it's on my radar, and I know fuck all. So
Yeah,
no, I only know because
PCW
I
the
think,
one custom
I think
works?
the owner follows me on Instagram, or followed me on Instagram when I had Instagram. So that's
Oh
the
no,
only
run
reason.
run
That's how I
away
knew
from
about
this
it.
promoter, honestly. Honestly, run away from this promoter.
Danders
He
has run
is-
away from Instagram altogether.
I know.
Good. Made the right choice. Nothing
Yeah.
but groups.
I feel like if I was going to run away from a social... I mean, I'm a man, so obviously it's a different experience. If I was going to run away from a social media platform, it would be Twitter. Twitter is such a cesspool.
Twitter is great.
Yeah, you would love Twitter. Mr. Adam
Twitter
Brooks is
is
shit. That's a perfect soundbite for Twitter, you know? that's a great... No, but what I've noticed, though, is a lot of the British voices who weren't too high on Adam Brooks, since a few times at least, at my behest, checking out some of his work from over here, have said, "Oh, he works much better as a baby face." Like, and they've actually enjoyed his matches. So it's not a diss on. So I think your wording is the big triggering thing for us here as Aussies and fans of the product here. Is we hear you say Adam Brooks is shit, and we're just like, whoa, what? Like, what is that? Because he's not, in our opinion. We see him quite regularly, and we think he's good stuff.
Yeah,
no,
absolutely. Yeah, sorry. Proceed.
Sorry. I watched the Iron Fist match he had where he worked face, and he was a million times better than that.
Yeah.
That's why I say I think he came over here trying to be a discount Adam Cole, and it didn't really work.
Right.
He had a very specific idea in mind of what he wanted to be, and didn't seem to want to change from that when it seemed like it wasn't working.
Fair enough.
Is the Iron Fist, is that the one that he got on the Cultaholic list, the top 10?
No,
Maybe?
That would have been maybe January last year. Yeah, he got onto the Cultaholic top 10 wrestlers of the week. I think he was about 7 or 8.
for Iron Fist Pro is over here. That's yeah.
No, it was when he was in the UK. Whatever.
Yeah, no, Iron Fist Pro is Aiden.
Oh.
You should know these standards.
Well, I might have if he didn't keep fucking rage quitting the group chat. Says me. I rage quit today.
You rage quit
at one
literally
point-
today. People don't like me, Akil. I'm the real heel here.
Yeah, there was one stage, but I'm assuming that was after his match with Ospreay. He was in Cultaholic top 10. It was around this time last year, maybe a little bit later, about May last year.
That's when he first came over, and he and Ospreay were doing like a touring match in a couple of different companies.
Yep.
Yeah, and everyone was super high on Brooksy versus Ospreay, and it's like, well, look, let's be real here, though. Yeah, you could put anyone in a match with Ospreay, and people will go, "This guy's good," because that's what Ospreay does. Like, not to discredit the people that have had matches with Ospreay and they are good, right? Like, so not to discredit people like Robbie Eagles, because he came to fame from wrestling Will Ospreay as well. Not to discredit any of these guys that have done that. But Will Ospreay, he makes a lot of people look like $1 million. It's what you do after that counts for more, I suppose. And you're saying that he didn't really capitalize while he was over there.
No.
Yeah. But he has
Let's
over
leave it at
here,
that.
and that's what matters for us. That's why Akil's opinions on Adam Brooks are banned, Danders. Banders.
Banderfield.
Banderfield, yeah.
Banderfield.
But no, we haven't talked in a while, Akil. When are we need to do a BritRes podcast. I apologize to any BritRes fans who listen to the show that, what was our last one? Our last one was in December?
No, our last one was that incredible NXT UK takeover with the unforgettable main event of Pete Dunne versus Joe Coffey.
Right, well, we could
Do you
leave it there,
remember?
really, because now the British scene is dead, right?
Britt Bass is dead. You're right.
Britt Bass is dead, so we can leave it there. There's no need to do another one. You're fired.
Well, goodbye, I guess.
No, we have to do another one because I really want to talk about OTT. I've watched the first match. I know you've been bugging me.
Quickly. Sorry, I'm going to take this over now. Quickly.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the video package.
Oh yeah, for sure. That Dandis, have you seen the video package that we're talking about? The David Starr versus Irish Ace
Jordan Devlin.
Jordan Devlin. Yeah.
I feel like I prefaced what my knowledge areas are. I literally have no idea what you're talking about.
This went viral. Like everyone on wrestling Twitter and wrestling everything were talking about this video because it was fucking amazing.
Are you talking about the video of the guy who throws cheese on the baby's face?
No.
Because that's the only viral video I've watched lately, and it was amazing.
No, but can we talk about that instead? Because that was so funny.
Oh my god. Mikey J sent it to me at about 11 o'clock at night, and he's like, I can't stop laughing at this. Probably wasn't 11 o'clock at night, but I don't have a job, so my sleep pattern's all fucked up. It felt very late, and yeah.
I haven't seen this video. And then what is this?
The baby didn't even react is the weirdest thing. He was like, oh yeah, no,
the baby just looked with like utter betrayal. A dude throwing a slice of cheese on his baby's face.
Okay, yes, I've looked it up. I just wrote baby cheese in Google, which I feel like puts me on a list somewhere. But I looked up baby cheese, and apparently it's a craze. This is a viral craze. People are throwing cheese on babies' faces. I'm watching it now. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good.
It's the like shitty singles cheese as well, which makes it even funnier somehow.
I think that's why it sticks so well. Because if you did it with like a cheddar, it's gonna bounce right off. I saw one guy being like, "I did this, and my wife yelled at me." Maybe because I was doing it with baby bells, like giving baby bells.
Wow.
That is Sean. But yeah, is there anything else wrestling you want to discuss?
No, I think I'm done.
The video was amazing. That's yeah.
We'll
okay.
talk about it at some point. Baby cheese for the win.
Baby cheese. All right, I'm gonna mute Akil with that one. Baby cheese. Oh my goodness. Let's go straight because we've got more callers than we've had on any of the other shows. So let's go straight into who did I say was going to be second on the docket? Jules. Let's bring in Jules.
Hey, what's the story?
Hey, how you doing, Jules?
Yeah, good. I was just.
Are you also from London, Jules?
I'm from Manchester originally, but my accent has kind of travelled around a bit, so I'm from all over the place. That's where I would be billed from, all over the place.
All over.
I remember when I was watching a pay-per-view with my friend, and I was like, the Drew McIntyre came on. I was like, oh, he sounds Glaswegian, and my mate was like, no, he's Scottish. I was like, oh well, fuck me, right? Specific.
No, I was anyway. Just. Yeah, talking of baby cheese, no, I think, no, but I did think that that's how, like, as a fan of Progress, watching the first few episodes of NXT UK, I felt like that baby just being hit with a slice of cheese and thinking, what the fuck is this? Like, it's just awful, bland, processed rubbish when I'm used to better things with those people. But anyway.
I'm going to have a question for you then, Jules. Are you of a similar opinion to my good friend Akil? Do you think Britt Rez is dead?
No, I think, look, I'm perhaps on coming off just having watched Chapter 84. I think that Progress is still as good as it's been since, the first sort of 20, 30 chapters. So I think it's holding up its end, and obviously OTT, if you're counting that, is pretty awesome. I'm not close enough to the rest of the scene to make any comment on some of the smaller kind of promotions, but I just know that living in Perth, I look at some of the cards over there and I think, fuck, it's just so good.
Yeah. Well, we count, when we do our BritRes podcasts, we count WXW, OTT. So it's really Eurograps, but apparently this is a contentious thing. I don't know. It's BritRes.
No, I think BritRes is still alive as long as Session Moth Martin is alive, because she's just going to carry it on her shoulders into the next decade.
How good is Session Moth Martin? Rumors. These are strictly rumors. Millie McKenzie's coming down. Could we see the Moth?
It'd just be too much. I mean, it's like, without being that women's wrestling fan, Avery and Martina together would just be
Oh my.
incredible.
Yes.
It would just blow the roof off anywhere. So yeah, that would be incredible. But no, I think that look, I'm a massive Progress fan, so I'm always gonna, while that product is still good, I'm gonna defend British wrestling, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm looking up the Moss lady.
Oh
Very
no, your life will change from now
I
on.
like her a lot. I have a
Yeah.
feeling though we're maybe getting someone from Japan.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did a soft J. Japan.
Yeah.
However, I'm hearing that from professional shit talkers. So
Right.
Yeah, this is why it cost me so much money, because I'm over for Clash of the Titans, and then like I fly back from London just in time to fly into Melbourne to do the 2-dayer.
Yeah. See,
solid.
I want to go to Melbourne for the 2-dayer, but like they announced it, and I was like, oh man, that might steal me away from Perth, because I want to go to Perth for the Global Conflict, the women's tournament.
You do. Yeah.
Because as well, EPW are having a show the same night, and I'm kind of torn.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I go to the EPW show because I really want to see EPW, or do I see out the entire tournament? But it's a whole decision that I'm going to have to make, Jules. But I was like, maybe I'll just go to Melbourne instead, and then I realized it's Mother's Day weekend. I can't do that.
Just representing Perth, I think EPW Gold Rush is going to be pretty sick on April 6th. It might be a bit of a slower show after that, because they've been building to this kind of, Night of Champions, all the titles on the line thing, and Mikey Nichols is going to be there.
Yeah.
So that is going to be a crazy show, and I'm not sure if they will do another Barnstormer the next month. So,
Well, no, but for me, it's just seeing Gavin in his natural environment.
oh my God, yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
So, I mean, I've been told by Eric Mack, I've been told by the EMAC that I am the number 2 fan in the Gavin McGavin fan club, with Gavin, of course, being the number 1. So, how could I not go watch Gavin McGavin in his home promotion?
The self-described Gavin's number 2. Fantastic.
No, I didn't describe
Assistant
myself that
who?
way. EMAC
Gavin
described
McGavin.
me. Yeah. I'm
No.
second only to him in fandom of him. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, no, you should totally make it across anyway. If it's a choice between coming over and the Melbourne shows, then definitely come over. It'd be
Yeah,
cool.
well, the Melbourne shows, I can feel it. I can feel it in my bones that it's going to be something big. But it's Mother's Day weekend, man, and I have children who have a mother, believe it or not. So yeah, so I will be honoring her that weekend, and I feel like I can't really do that from another state. I definitely can't afford for us to all go.
Greg does his 50th child mention. I'm only joking, Greg. We love hearing about your children.
Yeah.
My birthday party is before Clash of Titans. So if you would like to come along, I'll give you the details offline or online, but off air.
No, say it
on
now.
and off.
Say it for
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
So we'll have
No,
another.
that'd be
pre-
amazing.
We'll have
Doing
another
it pre
Corey situation.
MCW. Quite a few wrestling people will be coming, I hope. And a lot of friends who have never watched wrestling before.
Yeah.
So I feel like a nice, sexy table, ladders, and chairs match is gonna get them right in the mood. I was talking to Brendan, I forget his surname, Brendan Melbourne fan, who took his new girlfriend to her first ever wrestling show and took her to Wrestle Rock. Like,
And she's a
bold
massive
move,
fan,
Cotton.
right? Yeah.
Bold.
I took a
Sorry?
friend. I took a friend on her first show was to Wrestle Rock as well, right before, like, to the Wrestle Brunch. Yeah, she enjoyed it more than the WWE show.
Yeah, but that didn't have a guy cutting another guy with a pizza cutter. To be
But
fair,
I have to say, my
True.
girlfriend's in exactly the same position, that she is now more gutted that we're going to the UK while the May the 4th Wrestle Rock show is on than anything else. I'm like, but it's Super Strong Style 16 and it's Kaiju Big Battle. And she's like, yeah, but it's Wrestle Rock. So
yeah.
it's just like I think it's one of those all-encompassing, it doesn't matter who you are, what your history is and knowledge level for wrestling. it will just blow your guts out. First time.
Wrestle Rock has that effect on people.
Well, look, to be fair, she was at Girl yesterday, so she obviously hung around. It obviously wasn't a deal breaker. She actually had a really good time, which was nice.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Just to tie it back, you were talking about your party. Will Party Shirt Andy be there?
Party Shirt Andy has been sending me links for party shirts that he wants to buy. So
It's amazing.
And I've also noticed him like calling himself Party Shirt Andy Coyne online, and I'm all about it.
Yes. We need
Like,
to
I love when
Can someone book Andy Coyne? Similar to how Showdown started doing the evil Andy Coyne of the memes, right? Can we get a Party Shirt Andy gimmick in any promotion, anywhere, please?
Yeah. Well, he's always so dapper. Like, he's always dressed so dapper that when he was wearing this heinous looking shirt, like it's obviously his casual wear, but he was pulling it off. Maybe it's the Britishness. He was pulling it off, and I was just like, I'm in love with this Party Shirt Andy Coyne character. This is premium Andy Coyne.
I feel like
off.
Party Shirt Andy Coyne could guest host Wrestle Rock with Uncle Beej. I think that'd be kind of fun.
I feel like Fresh and whatever Julian, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Beach. It's a lot. It's a lot already. And I feel like it's probably nice for Andy Coyne to have a bit of a night off, because I'm sure he does a lot of emceeing.
Yes. Yeah, it's probably nice for him to let loose. But was there anything else you wanted to talk about, Jules?
Just very quickly, from without spoilers from the last Progress show, you're saying about Millie McKenzie, the Bea Priestley match against Millie McKenzie from Chapter 84 is worth a watch, if for no other reason than a murderous dropkick from Bea Priestley. It is, there's some GIFs on it on Twitter, but it is absolute fire. So, yeah, recommend.
Can we talk about how far Bea Priestley has come? I've got some friends who are not fans of Bea Priestley, and I'm like, have you watched her lately? Because they always bring up some of her early stuff, and I'm like, look, we've seen her mature as a wrestler, and she's come a long way in a short period of time.
She's quite young, isn't she? She's only been like 23, 24.
24-ish? Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
That's young. Like, that's, to me, I'm fucking 30 in 2 weeks. That's young.
Yeah. Well, I think but the inexperience level too, like she's only been doing it for 3 years, I think, maybe 4.
But I think the same goes for Martina as well. Spend some time in Stardom and then also live with Will Ospreay, and clearly there's some acceleration of talent there. I think she's a different wrestler now than she was MCW 100. Seriously, she's that good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. The Stardom tours, I think, is probably one of the biggest factors, you know?
Yeah.
Because we've seen a lot of people go over to Stardom and come back just vastly improved. I don't know what they're doing in Stardom, but I know what they're doing in terms of the product, but I don't know what they're doing in terms of the training, but whatever they're doing is freaking working, man. Because those Stardom girls are insane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But if that's everything you have for us, Jules, we might move
all
on.
good. Apart from an inappropriate chant that they were giving Will Ospreay at Progress, and I wasn't sure whether it was because of his heel gimmick, which I don't think he's very good at being heel. But when they're giving it, Ospreay, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the C word on the show.
Ospreay, you're a cunt. It's okay. I'll say it.
Hey, there we go. And I thought it was interesting that I think they were actually, not buying into his heel gimmick and just calling it as it is. So I think that's my final thought.
Fair enough. Yeah, people don't like Ospreay's Twitter, right?
I'm not a fan of Ospreay's Twitter.
Yeah, no. I'm a fan of his work, though. I'll be honest with you.
Whenever I'm seeing him tweeting, I'm just like, less yaps, more graps.
Exactly.
All right, and with that, we're gonna move on to Chapo. Thanks a lot for stopping by, Jules.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
All right, so I'm loving this because we've gotten through without WWE mentions. Let's see what Chapo's got for us. You watch him come straight off the horn and be like, "What do you think about something WWE?" I don't even know what's happening in WWE.
Rollins.
This is so bad. What do you think about Seth Rollins? There we go. Chapo, how are you, man?
I resemble that comment, mate.
You resemble it?
Yes, nah. I was gonna start off with Adam Hoffman has the best spinebuster in World Wrestling at the moment.
At the moment. Okay, with that clarifier, sure, yes.
Yes, it is.
I do enjoy
a thing of beauty.
I do enjoy me a Lockie Hendricks spinebuster, though.
No.
Even though he called me a Momo.
Adam. Oh, is he
Isn't
wrong?
it funny how Momo means something now, though? Like how there's all these Momo memes?
Oh, because of, the scary thing, right? The Momo suicide challenge or whatever. It's an urban
Every time people are
legend.
talking about that,
meme.
I'm like, is this what people like? I didn't realize that it was relatively new because I'm not up to date with the cool kids. So when I know about something, I just assume that it's old.
Mm.
And I was like, is this where he got it from? Is this what he means by we're all momos? We're all this weird looking, creepy girl who wants you to kill herself? Okay. Weird flex, Lucky, but okay.
See, that's something I'm not up on, that weird flex thing. What's the weird flex?
Weird flex is like humble brag.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah, so
It's like that's a weird thing to brag.
he saw the
That's a
Momo
weird
thing
to brag
coming.
about.
He saw the Momo thing coming. If I could see the future, I'd brag about that too, Danders.
He's a game changer.
He is.
If he can see the future, I want to see what next week's lottery numbers are going to be.
Don't we all? But yeah, so what have you got other than Adam Hoffman's spinebuster? How good was the blue thing though? By the way,
So good because he played it so well.
yeah, he looked shoot
And-
pissed. Like it's
Yeah, and it was just a really good thing that PWA did. Like they seem to be, doing all this good stuff for charity, like with the head shaving thing, and now the Rebon Hoffman and all that kind of stuff. It seems like they're a wrestling company, but they also like to look out for the community as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm actually glad that you point that part out because it sort of does get lost in the discussion a lot, but they do, and that's something I'm a big fan of as well is giving back, and something I've completely forgotten, and Big Boy will vouch for me. This is something that I've wanted to do from as soon as we launched the Patreon. I said that 10% of everything we get, even before, like, because I still don't even break even on this, like with the hosting, with the podcast, the hosting, and the networks and stuff that we all have to do to produce this podcast. We don't break even yet, even with the Patreon. But now that we have money coming in, one of the things I want to do is I want to give 10% of everything we make to charity. So at the moment, it's still quite small. So what I'm doing is I'm putting it aside, and you guys, you Patreon subscribers, will choose, like when it gets to a minimum donation amount kind of thing. You guys are going to choose who we're going to give that to. So I thought I just, as you were saying it, I thought about it and I was like, I haven't even mentioned that in any of the like ads for getting people to sign on to the Patreon or anything like that. It's not a thing I don't want people to sign on because we're doing this. Like you can just give money to charity. Like that's that's probably better. But
it's a nice incentive.
But it's something that I feel passionately about, and especially if it's up to me, a lot of mental health charities for sure. But there's a lot of people doing homelessness as well is a big one for me. But so there's a lot of charities doing worthwhile work. So you guys will get to choose that. Once it gets to a minimum donation amount, then I'll put the post in the Discord for us to decide where that goes. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that.
Sounds like a great idea.
But what else did you have for us, man, other than Hoffman?
Well, Hoffman, because it looks like a bit of the depth of PWA is going to be shown at the next show.
What do you mean?
Because you got the velocities are going to be over in England when it's on.
Right.
Jackson Kelly's over in America at the moment. He's going to be there for a while. I'm not sure if Shazza and
He's not really PWA though. I mean, he's done one PWA show.
Yeah, but the indication is they're starting a program. Like he's going to be there for a while.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call Jackson Kelly the PWA depth.
No,
he's done one show.
Whoa.
But I see what you mean. But
yeah, like you're going to have a few people overseas then, so they're going to have to draw into their depth chart to cover them.
Yeah. I don't think that's an issue for PWA though.
It'll just be interesting to see who they bring up and how they use them.
I reckon that they could go maybe having a few more women's singles matches. I know that they've got the championship. They've got Jessica Troy and Shazza.
Yeah, they could do that.
Yeah.
And
could even
I
have
reckon
some-
because the couple of shows that I've been to, they've had with like women in multi-man matches.
Mm.
And Chaz are in a 4-way with a few other, or a 5-way with some other people.
Yeah,
I
Belle
reckon
Pierce
that they
was in
could
it.
go with, a few more women's singles matches. I don't think you need to have the token one women's match. PWA have more talented women than anywhere else in the country.
the
Just in
thing is
terms
they
of their
do-
depth, I reckon we could see.
The thing is, they do heavily, they heavily lean into the intergender thing. So even though, they don't have a dedicated women's match necessarily, they will quite often feature more women on the card than most other wrestling shows.
Oh, I'm not having a dig at PWA. I'm
Yeah,
saying
no.
this is an opportunity to branch into having more one-on-one.
Personally, I'd like to see a women's version of the Coliseum tournament to run alongside the men's one this year.
Didn't they have women in the?
Yeah, women were in the Coliseum.
Coliseum?
No, but
Well, Kellyanne
just
was
have
in,
the-
but she didn't make it
Yeah,
because of the
but-
flight. Yeah.
So if you could have two competitions running at once, and then say the winner of the women's one goes up against the winner of the men's one.
Right. It's interesting. It's
Spitballing an
interesting.
idea.
I think the next show, though, as well, you talk about them requiring their depth, which I think they're going to be fine with. They're not going to have a problem. But the next show is it's a one-match show anyway, right? Everyone's just going to see Wahlberg take that title from UGG.
Oh, I don't know if Wahlberg will, personally, because I think, the way he left his mate to get destroyed by UGG doesn't fill me with confidence in his capability of beating UGG.
You mean
I'm glad that Mikey and I talked about that, or I ranted about it in. I'm not sure if you listened to our PWA wrap-up show. Very surprising. I thought that was, or not surprising, but I was like, I think that's going somewhere because that was very.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well,
it was very
the-
interesting the way he. Yeah.
You know what it looked like to me? It looked to me like Carter taking one for the team because Maddie has a
But
big
that's
match.
happened a lot for. That's happened a lot for him recently.
Maddie has a big match. I mean, Carter lost them that tag team match. He was the one that got distracted. I don't know. I can see the line of thinking that they have in that Maddie has in bailing out of the ring. He needs to preserve himself. He's just wrestled a match, and in comes big
He didn't
boy
know
UGG.
that he had to. He didn't know that he had to preserve himself because he didn't have a match prior to
Yeah.
that moment.
Yeah, he
So
just ran away.
It was heel behavior, definitely. It was like cowardly heel behavior.
Chicken shit heel.
Yeah, but it was like leaving your pal in the ring. Like you win as a team, you lose as a team, unless you're
Unless
building to something. I reckon.
unless Carter Deems is the Genetti of the group.
You guys are sitting in the crowd. Now, when I was sitting in the crowd at Fridays Are for the Babes, I feel this tangible thing with the PWA crowd and Matty Wahlberg. People want to cheer Matty Wahlberg.
They do, but
Like, they
also
don't
wanna
because
hate
they
him.
respect the show, right? And they play along, which is something that I love about the PWA crowd. They tend to boo the bad guys and cheer the good guys. It's very wholesome in that way. It's not wholesome at all because it's Black Label, but it's wholesome in that way. But I feel like the crowd want to love Matty Wahlberg. Am I wrong?
I think
They
that there
do
was.
and they don't.
Yeah, I feel like. Yeah, I don't know. The crowd was pretty evenly split, and maybe it's because they were going up against a brand new tag team. I felt like the crowd was pretty evenly split.
Oh, I'm gonna fantasy book something to you guys right here that I literally just thought of because in my head I was like, it's nothing like the Brat Pack, right? Like the Brat Pack, the crowd hate them, right? Whereas Wahlberg,
The difference being is that the Brat Pack are also bad guys, but MCW crowd it's PG. There's kids there.
Yeah.
Kids naturally gravitate to hating the bad guys and liking the good guys.
of course,
You'll find because those Brat Pack singlets sold out or near sold out very quickly.
right. So I feel like people respect them. Yeah, people like their work.
I'm sorry. Did the middle of my sentence interrupt the beginning of yours?
We're having internet issues, and so it's cutting in and out. So I thought you had finished. I apologize.
Oh, I haven't finished. I'm still ranting. You'll notice that you appreciate quality storytelling and quality character. Enjoy the Brat Pack, even if they don't necessarily cheer them, they still really like them. But you'll get a lot more boos because I feel like the is politically correctly, but the PWA crowd also know that it's fake. Whereas when I'm in an MCW crowd and I look around, I'm like, there's a lot of people who I'm not sure. There's a lot of this. It's still real to me, damn it. Which I love. It makes for a great environment. But yeah.
If you like It's Still Real to Me crowds, you would love Adelaide Championship Wrestling.
People
It is very real to them. I love it. It's amazing.
People, PCW is the same. No one cheers for the heels in PCW.
In regards to the whole cheering for Wahlberg, I don't know if either of you two have watched Diego's last show.
Yeah.
I watched it. Yeah.
There was a good indicator of how much Wahlberg is disliked because the Havoc chants were louder than the chants for Wahlberg.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just people wanted to see him get fucked up or not, but it seemed like more people wanted to see him get beaten than see him get the W.
Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only one that wants to cheer Wahlberg. But I'll hit you with my fantasy booking, though, for Wahlberg versus UG, right? Because you guys put the seed in my mind now with Carter. What if... Mm-hmm. And of course, your question about the depth of the PWA roster, too. What if the Game Changers debut on a PWA show? So you get Lockie Hendricks shows up, you get the Brat Pack show up, you get Taylor King show up. Any combination of those guys, probably not all four, but any combination of them show up to help him win the match. And also just to add insult to injury when Carter comes out to celebrate with them as well. They just beat the crap out of Carter. Why not? Change the game.
That does.
I like this a lot. I
love it.
So
I'm all about the faction warfare in wrestling.
However, aren't we losing Mr. Wahlberg soon?
3 months.
Not soon, but I mean...
Yeah, heading over
PWA
to the...
shows aren't monthly.
No, heading over to the Farley Dojo, though. Yeah. Yeah.
It would be a good thing to see. Like, I personally think what's going to happen is he's not going to beat UG. I think Bonza's going to challenge UG, and then they're going to set it up for when she comes back from America, Shazza versus Bonza. Shazza versus Bonza for the title.
Yeah, I can see that. But how do you get to Bonza versus UG when Moretti won Coliseum?
But no one knows what you get for winning Coliseum.
You get a sword.
Get the sword.
You get a fucking sword, dude. What more do you need?
No, but he doesn't know what if it gives you a title shot or what.
But what I'm saying is, if anyone's going to get a title shot, it's going to be the guy who just won the fucking sword, right? It's not going to be the guy who lost.
Well, how do we know it's not like the Andre the Giant Memorial Trophy? You get nothing for that.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Like, I'm not necessarily saying that the winner of Coliseum gets a title shot. Like, that's not what... But I'm saying, if you're going to pick another challenger for UG, it'd be the guy who won, not the guy who lost the final.
Aren't they currently the tag team champions?
They are indeed, and I don't think they're dropping them anytime soon.
I have a theory about that.
With the...
Go, Danders, sorry.
With the... what we're assuming is there's going to be a unification of the men's and women's title. That seems to be the popular theory. That's only going to leave 3 people holding championships.
Yeah.
Are they going to put 2 on the one person? Like it seems. No, are we going to see a workers' belt? I want to see PWA if they are going to drop the women's title or unify the men's and women's title and just have a title for everyone. Hashtag Balor Club is for everyone. Workers' belt. I don't think that there should only be a heavy, like a main championship and tag championship. I want to see an Intercommonwealth or whatever you'd call it.
Yeah, like
I think-
an upper, like a mid to upper card title.
I think they'll do that. I think they'll bring in another one, just throwing out an idea, like a Pacific Championship or something.
Maybe people can wrestle over the sanitation commissionership.
Nope, just give us a belt.
But the sanitation commissioner role is
No.
very prestigious. Does anyone know when the elections are happening for the sanitation commissioner role?
They haven't said anything about it.
I'm really. It's my favorite story going in Australian wrestling at the moment. To be honest with you, just edging out Gino as prick champion is the battle for sanitation commissioner. So I'm really curious to see how far they stretch this thing.
It depends on what they want to do. If they want to, just make it a fun little thing, or actually, go hard on it.
I'm hoping it
Don't
makes
go
it
hard
to
on
the.
it. It's gonna take the fun out of it if they make it a serious thing.
I'm hoping
I think
they
the
stretch it
idea
to
of-
October though, because I'm going to go up for Coliseum hopefully. So
I think the
There's a
fact that
new web. Sorry.
I was going to say the fact that Lucci is, because like obviously Big Fudge is a fun dude, he does fun shit. Lucci being such a serious guy, his convictions going over this with all the Big Fudge is a fraud posters and things like that. That's the part that's most entertaining to me, is that it is silly. I don't think they should make it serious. Just give us a belt. Give us a Sydney belt. I don't know what you people have up there. Give us
The
a
Harbour Bridge.
bridge belt or the
bridge
fucking what's the highway that takes you from Sydney to Newcastle?
The M1.
Oh well, we have the M1 in Melbourne as well. Obviously, the M1 goes fucking around Australia.
It's a
yeah,
national thing.
we could have the orbital championship.
We're going with the M1 PWA. Fucking make it happen. The M1 championship. That way, it can be defended anywhere in Australia, but it only ever goes to PWA people.
Well, and it could go between PWA and Newcastle, right? Because they're affiliated.
Exactly.
NMCW. It's on the same road.
Yeah. There we go.
Love it. Fucking make it happen. M1.
Also, one last thing. There's a new web series about to drop that's going to be a killer.
Yes.
It's the Maddie Wahlberg one.
Yes. Just the trailer has me so fucking hyped for it, because he's just like, this is why I'm the best. This is why, like, I'm working harder than everyone. Ugg's not doing this. Ugg's playing Smash Brothers and jerking off in his cave, and I'm like, just everything he does is gold. And everyone's saying it too. Like, I saw Davis Storm tweeted out, and he's like, I don't do this normally, especially for someone so young in their career, but Maddie Wahlberg has lightning in a bottle. Like, watch this kid. And as well, I know in interviews, Wahlberg has said he's not too concerned, and I know he's gone to the Fale Dojo, but in interviews he has said he's not too concerned with going overseas. He wants to wrestle everywhere in Australia, and he wants to be the top guy in Australia. That's his first goal. I'm sure he will be concerned with going overseas at some point, but first he wants to conquer the country, and I don't think it's going to take him long.
I think he'd be a bigger star in like America than he would in Japan.
Yeah, no,
'cause
I think the UK. I think from here to the UK would suit him well.
It would do very much so. Probably an NXT UK or something. Maybe.
Yeah. Look, I've called it before. I've said that I think All Elite Wrestling will snap up some PWA guys. So Wahlberg's got to be on everyone's shortlist. To be honest with you, everyone would be watching him.
Speaking of AEW, did you see the thing Gino put out?
Yes, the challenge to Cody, right, for World Series Wrestling. So we've been theorizing about this for a while. Conspiracy Greg's been coming out for a while, being like, the Bucks or Cody have to show up. They do one of their surprise appearances, right? Does this sort of confirm it in anyone else's mind, or is it just me?
Cody said he won. I think it does confirm it, because I said he goes April or whatever the date was. I think he says the date in it, doesn't he?
Yeah, March 9.
And also, Cody Rhodes promised at the last show that he would come back.
Yeah.
He says, I'm coming back to the next show on my own dime. He felt bad that he couldn't perform. Not that because it's not like his fault.
But he still can't, because he just had the surgery.
Speaking of World Series Wrestling, I don't know about you guys, but I think they should move on from Brian Cage because he's the dude who's been consistently at every single show. It's like, yeah, he's good the first time, but 3 or 4 times,
Ooh,
he's
I, for one, love the big sexy cloud man. I'm all
I-
about big sexy cloud man.
I am going to disagree with you completely. He is one of my favorite workers in the world, and Impact are misusing him, and that's the other place I primarily see him. So, at least he's not being misused by World Series Wrestling. So,
Yeah, but you've got talent like Bob Holly out there, mate. Bob
No.
Holly.
all right, now you're taking the piss. Do I mute him, Danders? What else have you got for
Remember
us,
Bob
Chapo?
Holly? He's back in pog form. All right, guys,
I
I'm
still
going to go
remember
watch
him
Married at
getting
First
cut
Sight.
to the bone.
You gotta
I
go
still
watch
remember
Married
him.
at First Sight. I'll close out the show
All
with
right.
Chapo then, Danders. Where can people
All
find you
right,
before you go?
Find me on Twitter at Danderfield. I've changed my name on Facebook, so y'all can't find me. Yeah, on Twitter, start fights with me. I got a lot of spare time.
All right,
It's
bye,
Daniel
Danders. Enjoy.
Danderfield if you're looking.
Enjoy. Daniel.
Daniel Danderfield.
Yeah. All right.
My boyfriend's name's Daniel though, so if you want to that's what his name's going to be if we ever get married.
He'll
Anyway,
take your
I'm
name.
going.
All right, go
Yeah.
watch Married at First Sight. Now we can shit talk.
See you
her.
later, guys.
Well, I mean,
So-
bye,
so, uh,
Danders.
Bye.
I'm gonna watch the chat. Has she left? Has she left? She's still okay.
I don't
She's
know.
gone. Now we can shit talk her. That Danders, man. Oof.
Nah, legit, she's a nice lady.
She's
Because I'm
lovely.
scared she'll bash me, you see.
She won't bash you. She'll reverse atomic drop you.
Oh, I don't know if I have that
Inverted?
kind of money.
Was it an inverted atomic drop?
Yeah, it's an inverted atomic drop, but I don't know if I have that kind of money.
I'll let Danders explain that. Was there anything else you
The hell-
wanted to? Was there anything else you wanted to talk about before I let you go?
Not really. I've basically covered everything, you know.
Let's bring
It's
Jules. Let's bring Jules back in because I can see he's still here listening. Hey, Jules, meet Chapo.
Hey. Yay. Hey,
G'day,
Chapo.
Jules.
Yeah, all good, man.
So I just want to say I don't say it enough. I feel like I put these things before the podcast that are like, hey, if you like what we do, check out the Patreon, blah blah blah. And I guess on the custom episodes, I've been shouting out Jules specifically as our super producer level backer. But I just want to thank you guys for back, and of course our other backers who aren't here. Luke Sinisia he's unable to make it a lot of the times in the afternoon when we do these. But yeah, thank you guys for supporting what we do here because you guys are helping us grow, and it's great, and we really appreciate it.
All good, man.
Yeah, not a problem, man. Loving your work and happy to be. It feels like we're all part of something, right? So it's worth its weight in dollars.
Yeah.
Still waiting for your heel turn, Greg.
For my heel turn.
Yeah.
His Vince McMahon heel turn. Like, Britt Red's dead is already pretty heel move.
No, well, see,
we need to get you in.
That's my gimmick.
We need to get you in a feud, man.
For those who
We need
don't
to
know,
have
my
a
gimmick
feud.
in the Discord for the BritRes channel, I just constantly point out how all these BritRes shows are just using all the NXT UK talent. Just everything that NXT UK worked so hard to build. And they're just
It's so bad.
just putting Pete Dunne on their poster to try to sell some tickets. It's not cool, you guys. But no, thank you so much for helping us do what we do. And if people want to talk to you guys on social media, if you feel like it, if you don't want to, just say pass, and I'll edit it out.
Nah, it's cool. If you want to talk to me, on the Twitter, I am at the cursed Chapo. On Instagram, I'm factually incorrect. And yeah, don't add me on Facebook. We're not friends.
You're still in a gimmick. That's not cool, man. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Next time we ask him how he is, he's going to say he's living large.
Well, I'm a large bloke, so of course I'm living large.
And Jules, where can people find you if they want to talk graphs?
You can get me on Jules versus the World on most of the socials, apart from Twitter. Jules versus the World on Twitter. I think it might be at JulianTFB, which is an old one, an old gimmick, has been long retired. Yeah, and don't add me on Facebook because we're not friends.
Right. I actually, before, so now we've got the social out of the way. I did have one question for you, Jules. Did you go to the EPW Academy Showcase show? Like the
No,
school
I missed
one?
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I couldn't make it to that one.
Because they put it up on the Vimeo service. I don't know if
Yeah.
you're a subscriber there. If not, you should be. But I guess you can go to shows because you live there. But, but yeah, it was really good. It was really good. And then I noticed on Twitter, because I live tweeted it, right? I live tweeted as I was watching it. And yeah, afterwards, a tweet went up by Taylor King, and he was like, "Oh, I noticed that the EPW like media people cut my match out of the school showcase." And so I don't know if that's an angle or if there was some kind of oversight, but apparently there was a Taylor King match. That's why I wanted to ask if you'd been there, because I didn't see this Taylor King match because it wasn't on the show, and apparently there was a Taylor King match.
Even if I'd have been there, I'd have sandbagged the Taylor King match myself as well. So
No,
yeah, for
You're
real.
not a Taylor King fan?
Nah, not even remotely. I just don't. He
Not my
just
cup
does
of tea,
not.
eh?
Man,
He's not your cup of tea, bro.
if you thought I cancelled Akil for dissing Adam Brooks, oh,
Oh, seriously.
he's
Nah,
the 1-2-3 king.
Nah. Look, and in his match against Gorgeous Garrett, the last one, it was all about Gary. And that's
Gary.
All right, Chapo. I think it's getting late. Chapo's drinking. It's time to put a plug in it.
Oh, I wish I was drinking.
But thank you so much for jumping in on the call, guys. I really appreciate it. And we'll talk to you again in, I was going to say 2 weeks, but I think it's next week's Fastlane, right?
Yes.
So we'll probably do one after Fastlane because we tend to do these. So I think this episode was supposed to be last week, but yeah, you know, life happens. So we'll get on another call in a week or two though. Either way, so we'll talk to you guys soon.
No worries, man.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, take it easy.
Hold one. Arm drag. You're not doing this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon. You just made the list. Oh my God.
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two. Arm bar.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
It's still real to me, damn it. Dummy. Hold three. The moss covered. Three handle family Granunzo.